When we talk about a business,
Yes.
would you classify the tabletop businesses that some of the Makola ladies or the men are doing
Yes.
as a business?
Yes. It's a business. It's a kind of business.
Okay.
That person, for instance, there's a lady I know. Her mother is a choba owner. You use that business, did it for over 30 years, and she built houses out of that. Would you say that that is not a business because she works with some 2 or 3 people, or maybe 10 people? She may not have an accountant. She may not have all those kind of setup. But really, if you put the other people that we say is business, all that I know many times is that they come out with the idea, they try the idea 1 or 2 few times, and then they tell them, do you have a source of funding? And if somebody is giving you money, then they will ask how the money should be protected. And I think that's why many of them came up with that kind of structure. Why you need a lawyer, accountant, because somebody is really trying to inject money to that kind of entity, and you have to be accountable. Now, if I start something, I'm selling tomato, you have not given me any money. So if I trade and I get profit, I think that is business. You see, the thing is, so long as we try to use their definition for the same thing, we will collide.
Well, but then what data are we then going to measure the success or the failure of the business with? Because if you're running a business and then you don't have any metrics to use, for example, you don't know at which point did you even break even and when did you cross that border to even profit.
So long as you give me money, we can talk the same language. So long as you give me money, the tax laws are okay, your interest rate is okay, then come with that model, then measure me. But if you have not given me any money and you still want to put that jacket on me, I don't know if it fits. Because you know it.
Yeah.
The people you met who set up businesses, what did they use?
Loans.
That's it.
Yeah.
We here, how many of us have access to that? As a matter of fact, those of us who go for loan, we probably will crash in a year.
No, that's true.
All right, so how do you judge us? We have a lot of these top businesses who have come to Ghana and have gone back. They came with money, but they couldn't survive here. Many of them, and I'm sure you know them, they came with millions of dollars. Why? But they were measuring all those. Now, Antioquia is still going, in spite of us saying that the economy is so, stressed. But they are still in the market selling and making some money. So business, I would say, is a form of business. As to which kind of business, I will not try to defend that or define that.
But you also understand and appreciate that at a certain level, with any business that you're running, you need data to help make a decision.
Agree.
Now, if this is what I want to gather.
Yes.
Are you saying that a tabletop business owner who has started that business with their own money do not need to keep data on how the business is moving?
They have to. They have to keep data.
Okay.
But don't measure them with the other data and the trajectory. Don't measure them with that. I find it difficult. I don't know whether I'm right or wrong. I find it difficult. Because if the same woman who is doing so well, bring an MBA to that woman to manage her, 2 years will come back, that woman's business is no more. With data, with this. Before you see it, her money is gone. Why? Because she's spending money that she has to make herself. That the other person. We have a lot of friends who, you can get the data you are asking for from, when they started. Very, very organized, You'll be very happy to talk to them. And I understand that. But they are no more. Many of them fizzle out. Why? Because they were trying to work with the same definition, rich definition.
And I'll give you an example.
Yes.
So when I first came to Ghana, I set up our pharmacy. The first pharmacy we had in Ghana was in East Legon, right?
Yes.
We spent over £30,000 doing everything, putting everything together. But we had an accountant, in fact, a bookkeeper that was working with us from the beginning. Based on the data we collected, we realized that 2 years into the business, we would not be able to survive. So we should close down.
Okay.
That saved us a lot of time to be wasted.
Yes. My kind of understanding of business is I will not come with money like you.
Okay.
I will start selling the drugs maybe from Trotro or on my head. And then I go through in Ghana. I'm talking of in Ghana. Not you coming with money. And I go through that. Before that person opens a pharmacy, it's taking her maybe 2, 3, 5 years. And the Lord, she understands every decision is counted for. So for instance, there's Mr. Blay, who owns a provision shop. He's my friend. an old man. He and the wife have been doing this for almost maybe 40 years. Out of that one provision shop, he's built apartments out of it. The story is, how did they start? They started by selling on the head. And then they went to a small kiosk, tabletop kiosk. And they went into a container. And the other time, they broke the whole container down and built their own store. They are not like you. You came with money. They didn't come with that. So it was gradual. So positioning that business will be exact, because she gathered a lot of information before she got to that level, or he got to that level. You came with the moment you come with money, your models are different. And for me, my focus, my definition, my why I do what I do is so that 80-90% of our people, the data that they work with, the information that they work with, the realities that they go through in trying to build a business here, the things that they have to do that are very much accessible to them. That approach is what I look at. And many of them will not have 30,000 pounds to come with in the first place. For them to set it in a place and it doesn't work and they have to close it. They don't go through that. Why? Because they went through the steps. Organic growth is what many of our people can have access to build a business with. So we can have that kind of a conversation at a different level. But I don't understand that one. What I understand is what the friend or the young man without a father, mother in the village, what does he have to go through to build a business? And I don't know if what he builds will even be qualified by the others to say that this is a business. But for me, it's a business. Why? Because he's been able to lift himself from where he is with nothing. And now he has employed 3, 4, 5 people. You say that, maybe he's doing just 100,000 Ghana cedis a month. To convert it to dollar is nothing. Why do you have to convert it to dollar in the first place? Because if you give me free money and I'm doing $100 million a month or a year, and I have to bootstrap for 10 years and I do 100,000 a month, do you really think that you're better than me?
No.
That's it. No. So my concern, what I've studied, what I've understood, is that the other people without all these tools and instruments, what do they have to go through to build? And so the nomenclature is key. What would you call a business, and how do you define it so that you don't break or put them down? Is key. Because many times when we judge ourselves, we just say that, when you compare it with this kind of country, we are nothing. And many of our people are doing that. They're doing so well, but at the same time, when they convert it to dollar or pound, it's nothing. But I tell them that the pound, the dollar man was sourced.
Well, I guess it's true, right? But if you're coming from the CD system or whatever currency it is that you're coming from,
yes, sir,
and that's all you know,
it
makes sense to not try to compare it to any other currency, because that's all you know, right?
That's what I know.
You measure it by those metrics. But when you are bringing investment in dollar into this country, you need to measure it by dollar terms.
I agree. But maybe I don't have access to that one. Yes. And many of the people that we have to lift up will not even get any investor from any dollar anyway. And that's the reality on our market. And as a matter of fact, our market or our economy is controlled by those people. No investor from anywhere. So I understand. We can study that for the few who would love your approach. The other day, a young man called me and said that I have started a laundry and I need an investor. I said, how much are you doing? 3,000 cedis a month. And he's looking for somebody to give me a lot of money so that he can open a lot of them. I said, I don't know that one. What I know is that if anybody wants to give you $100,000 or $1 million, this is your figure you're doing, I don't know how many people will bet on you. So prove yourself and remove those things that you have watched on the internet. Shark Tank and those, remove them, because you may not have access to those. But you can build with a lot of discipline. 3,000, you can go to 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Maybe it'll take you another 10 years to even open another branch. But you'll build the strength that when you cross a certain threshold, you'll be able to, spread. And that's the magic in our economy. Left-handed is so high because of the instruments that we use. But once it's taken a height, you can go. And that's why Mr. Blair was able to. He went through that, that force for so long a time. And then when he took the height, was able to spread and build his wealth. That is our approach. So I appreciate that, but the thing is, let's say, many of them don't even have a visa. So how do you give that person that kind of setting if you want? I wouldn't. But then when we come to that level, we can discuss that. So I always separate it. Which category are you talking of? But my focus is more on the category where 80% of our people can build with the little that they have, with the things that they have. Where in this world that you're registering a business and you're taking something before you even register, you have not made any profit. So we should understand what we are dealing with.